Hi, here's some yoga for sciatica. Come to lie down on your mat. So just lowering yourself onto the mat and just lying all the way down on the mat in any way that is comfortable for you. I've got my feet wide with the knees falling into each other. You can bring one hand onto the heart and one hand onto the abdominal muscles. Just allow yourself to drop into this moment. Just deepening and lengthening the breath. And relaxing the face, letting go of any tension, any worries, just coming to the breath, focusing on the breath. Deep breaths in and long breaths out, either through the nose or the mouth. Good. And I want you just to stretch the right leg up now, flexing the right foot. Don't worry if that leg isn't straight, just stretch it out. Keep the right foot firmly flexed, drawing in towards you. Chin is lightly tucked, lengthening out the back of the neck. Just stretching here. So lots of causes for sciatica. It might be a herniated disc putting pressure on the sciatic nerve, or it could be a weak piriformis muscle that is also putting pressure on the sciatic nerve. So we're just going to do some stretches that are really good for sciatica generally. Even though we don't know the cause, we're going to do a little bit of strengthening work on the piriformis in case it is coming from the piriformis muscle. So we'll just be working to strengthen the piriformis a little bit today. But definitely try to get the diagnosis from your doctor and determine the source of the sciatic pain if it's been ongoing. When you're ready, just releasing that leg, and we're just going to cross the right ankle on the left thigh just below the knee, and then see about reaching through the legs for the back of the left thigh. Pulling on the back of the left thigh. Keep the right foot flexed and just keep pulling on the back of the left thigh. So hopefully you can feel this in the right outer hip. Breathe here. So we're aiming today to stretch and soothe this area, but not to overstretch or overwork. So just being mindful. You don't want to aggravate things further. So from here, you can just cross that right leg, the top leg over, bring both feet down to the mat, tee out the arms, and see about bringing both knees down towards the left side. So cross-legged spinal twist, just stretching, looking over the right shoulder, dropping the right shoulder down to the ground. If this feels too much, you can just simply uncross the legs and stack the knees and legs one over the other for this twist. Or you can put cushions under the knees so it's not such a deep stretch. Good. To come out, just uncross the legs so the knees are stacked. Then use your core, draw the navel into spine and come back up. Good. In between sides, I want you to bring the feet wide to the outer edges of the mat and just drop the knees to the left side. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop the knees to the right, look over the left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop down to the left, look over the right shoulder. Just a couple more each side, in time with your breath. And coming back up now, we're stretching up through the left leg, flexing the left foot strongly, and keep pulling the left leg in towards you. And then again, crossing the left ankle onto the right thigh below the knee. Let's reach through for the back of the right thigh or the front of the right ankle. Keep the left foot flexed and keep drawing the left knee away from the body. Tucking the chin lightly again to lengthen through the back of the neck. And again, feeling this deep stretch into the left outer hip, the piriformis. Keeping the breath really steady and even. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then from here, let's release both feet down to the ground. We're going to flip the palms so the palms face up and just see if you can find the heels with the fingertips. Usually that's the right place to place the feet to come up into some bridges. If it doesn't work in your anatomy, that's fine. Keep the knees on the same line as the hip points when you come up into your bridge. So to do this, you'll really need to hug the inner thighs in towards each other and press through the heel as well as the front of the foot. So we're going to move 3 times up into a little baby bridge. So inhaling, coming up. Squeezing the glutes, lifting up. Exhaling slowly to lower down. Inhale, let's lift up. Hug the inner thighs in, squeeze the glutes. Exhale down. Inhale, let's lift up. And exhale, lower down. Good. And you can just draw the knees in towards you and just rock from side to side. Good. And to come up, we're going to roll onto one side and just come up to a seat. Good. So from here, we're going to draw the bottom back to really ground through both sit bones. And then we're going to bring the right foot just inside the left knee. And I want you to just pull the hands on the lower leg so you can try and create a little bit more height, lifting up through the crown of the head here. And then all we're going to do is wrap the left hand round the right thigh and twist back. So a version of Ardha Matsyendrasana. Half Lord of the Fishes, so just roaring back. And you're stretching as much as feels good. And you can come back and see about maybe bringing the right foot outside the outer edge of the left knee. This may feel too much, in which case just bring it back to the first option with the foot inside the left knee. But if this does feel okay, see about wrapping your left arm around the right leg, tilting the pelvis forward slightly and lengthening and stretching back. Really strengthening the lower back, the sacral area, and having a huge stretch out on the right glutes, the piriformis, the lower back. Keep the left foot flexed. And then just come back to center. And we're going to switch sides. So this time the right leg stretches out and you're going to bring the left foot just inside the right knee, sorry. Just regrounding through the sit bones, so draw the sit bones back, lift up tall through the crown of the head, and again, twist round, wrapping your right arm around the left leg, twist round, keep breathing, right foot stays flexed. Maybe take your second option and step the left foot outside the right knee. If you're doing that, just create some traction again, lift up tall, and then twist back. And coming back to center now. Good, and we're going to just cross at the ankles and bring yourself into a downward dog. So I'm just going to tie my hair back now. You can take a sip of water, tie your own hair back if you need to, and we're going to come into our downward dog. So actually we'll come into table first. So come into a tabletop position. You can take any movement here that feels good, maybe just some little hip circles. One way and then the other. And then we'll just do 3 cow-cats. Inhale, shine the heart forward, tailbone rises. Exhale to round and contract, tuck the tailbone under. And again, inhale, reach forward. Exhale to round. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale to round. Good. Coming back to center. See if it's possible to stretch the right leg back and lift it up. So you're trying to really dial the pinky toe down and keep the thigh parallel to the floor. And we're going to do an external hip rotation to strengthen the piriformis. So inhale here, and then exhale. Externally rotate the hips so the foot will point out like mine towards the screen. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, external to hip rotation towards the right. Inhale, center, pinky toe dials down. Good, and rotate. Coming back to center. Focus on your alignment. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Stretch back with that back foot. And release, very good. Do a nice big Halloween cat shape with your spine. So just round through the spine, tuck tailbone under. Maybe just wiggle the hips here in your cat shape. And then come back to center. And we'll do the same on the other side. So stretch and reach that left leg back. Lift it up. Inhale here. Exhale, externally rotate left hip. Inhale, center, thigh parallel to pinky toe dials down, then open up. Inhale, center, and exhale, external hip rotation. Inhale, come back to center, exhale to release. Good. Now we'll find our downward dog. So the hands can walk forward, you can bend the knees, keep the knees as bent as you need to, and just stretch one leg and then the other. Good. And see about finding a little bit of stillness. Drawing the chest towards the thighs, lifting the hips up high. Maybe getting the heels a little closer to the mat. Good. And then you can bend the knees, look forward, and just make your way up to the top of the mat. Good. Halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. From here, we're going to roll up, coming all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming up to stand. Good. So what we want to work on is when you're standing, if your sciatica stems from a weak piriformis muscle, you're going to really strengthen it by bringing the feet hip width apart and really try to keep the weight into the outside edges of the heels. So drawing down through the outside edges of the legs and into the heels. Weight comes into the heels, especially the outer edge of the heels. So just connect with that. Good. And then from here, I want you to come into a tree pose. So this is, again, an external rotation of the hips. So grounding through the standing leg, the left leg, a slight micro bend in the knee so you don't lock it out, and open up the right hip. Here we're getting into the piriformis and stretching it out. And you can keep the feet completely grounded if that feels best, or you can start to lift up into your tree. Keep the weight of the heel on the left side and keep drawing the right knee open here. Stay with it. Deep Ujjayi breaths. And to come out, you can bring the knee forward, circle the ankles a couple of times, and release. And it might feel nice just to shake out the legs. And bring the weight now into the right foot, spreading the toes wide. Again, press down through the heel of that foot, lift up through the midline, really strong through the core, so you're drawing the navel in, and then lift up the left foot. Again, on the ground, or maybe onto the leg if you've got the balance. Good. Just squeezing lightly through the glutes, getting into the piriformis. Lift up through the midline of the body. So don't worry if you can't lift up the leg at all. Just keep that focus on the weight coming down into the right heel. Good, and release, coming back to center. We're going to just come down now with the hands down to the mat or onto blocks if you've got them, and step the right ankle just outside the right ankle outside the left foot, the right foot outside the left. You can bend the left knee really generously here, and maybe even bend the right knee as well. And just allow the head to drop down. Maybe curling very slightly to the left side. Getting that deep stretch into the right outer hip again, into the glutes. And then coming back to center, and all we're going to do is switch sides. So your left foot comes to the outer edge of the right foot, bending the right knee generously and maybe bending the back leg, the left leg slightly. Again, just breathing into the left outer hip, trying to straighten that left leg as much as possible, and then just curling round to the right a little. And come back to center. Bring the feet hip width apart. Good. And all we're going to do now is just come down back into a seat. You can roll onto one side and then bring yourself down to lie. You can stretch out now and find your Shavasana. Just settling down into the mat. Maybe lifting the shoulders up and snuggling them down a little further. Just letting go of any control of the body or the breath. Allow yourself to rest here for a couple of minutes before continuing on with your day. Relax, melting down into the mat. softening all the facial muscles. Yeah, just a little mini Shavasana. When you're ready, just circling the ankles and wrists and waking the body up again. You can take a stretch up through the fingers and through the toes. Stretch everything out. And then melt the hips down again, relax the shoulders down. Take a big inhale. Exhale out through the mouth. Again, inhale. Let go. Good. From here, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft, walk the feet back in towards the body. Roll to one side. And then just roll yourself up to the seat. Sitting in any way that's comfortable. Just trying to find that anterior tilt in the pelvis. So you're kind of rocking slightly forward. Wherever you are, you can do this also. If you're not able to cross the legs, you can bring the legs out to the sides and just draw the flesh back and get that anterior tilt through the pelvis, sitting up tall. You can bring your hands wherever you like. I always like to bring mine onto the upper chest, one over the other. Just connect with the breath here. Feel a moment of gratitude for your breath and for all the blessings in your life. And then now bringing the hands into prayer at your heart. Namaste. Please let me know how you get on. I'd love to hear. Have a lovely day and I hope you feel better soon.